My name is Haley Powell. I am here with DSA, the Cincinnati Housing Justice Coalition, and now the Northern Kentucky Tenants Union. So I was actually talking to Comrade Frank earlier this summer about how Victoria Square reminds me a lot of Titanic, the ship. So Victoria Square reminds me of Titanic because the tragedy of the Titanic wasn't that the ship sank, it was that hundreds of working class people's lives were needlessly lost due to greed and an intentional lack of preparation.
That's right.
There were enough lifeboats, but only for the richest people. The designers and developers of the ship didn't want to crowd the first-class decks with the ugly lifeboats for the poor and working class. So now we have a historically bad disaster in Newport that was also 100% preventable. The housing crisis, I guess, is experienced by everyone, but it's only killing the poor people. That's why we say eviction is violence.
That's right.
Yeah.
My friend Yvonne at Victoria Square wants to know, how is she supposed to keep her insulin cold when she's homeless inevitably at the end of next month? There's an elderly vet at Victoria Square being kicked out in 5 weeks from today who asked me, how cold does it have to be, or how cold does it have to get outside before you freeze to death if you're living in your car? He's 76 years old. While, yes, what SPS is doing, SPS Sunset Property Solutions, right around the corner, what they're doing may be legal. It's only legal because the elected officials of Newport, Kentucky have never cared enough about renters and tenants and poor people to write legal protections for them into law. What SPS is doing is abhorrent. It's titanically bad, and we must stand in tall solidarity with our neighbors at Victoria Square.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if solidarity alone can save us, but I do know that without it, we are all going to sink. So what can we do? Well, being here right now is huge. It's a huge first step. SPS, Sunset Property Solutions, again, just 1 block away, they have faced zero consequences for displacing 232 units of working class and low-income families, some of which have lived in Victoria Square for generations. For example, it's horrible. Miss Judy, for example, has lived in Victoria Square since she was 11 years old. She's 70 years old now, living on a fixed income with limited mobility. And she will be the first to tell you she literally has no place to go. So what else can you do? If you haven't signed the petition yet, I'll grab it. Sorry, I moved. The petition, there's a QR code on the back of their brochures. There's also one on the banner being held by DSA comrades over here. If you haven't signed the petition yet, do that right now. I know there are a few people here who have not signed it, and it's okay, just do it now. Every signature lets SPS, Sunset Property Solutions, just 1 block away. Every signature lets SPS know that we see what they're doing. Every signature also lets the tenants at Victoria Square know that they have one more person's strength to help them get through one more day. What else? We can join a tenants union. If there isn't one where you live, you can start your own.
Yeah.
This crisis isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, the lack of consequences for SPS, Sunset Property Solutions, has allowed the management at River Chase Apartments, right across the street from Victoria Square in Newport, to gain the courage to kick out their tenants starting in November. So there are some tenants at River Chase in Newport who will be evicted 1 month after the first round of tenants at Victoria Square. And to be clear, for everyone listening, we are taking this fight, these signs, to the property of Town Properties Next.
Yeah.
Even if your living conditions seem good now, you still need fellow tenant support. Back to the Titanic, the third-class passengers who boarded Titanic could easily see that there weren't enough lifeboats for them. And I'm sure what they thought was, what's the worst that could happen? You feel safe and fine and protected until all of a sudden you don't. The same thing is true for your workplace. You may have a great team and a great boss, but that could end and most likely will at some point at the snap of a finger. We must demand protection for ourselves and those alongside us right now, every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
If there is no one here in an organization, that is my best piece of advice. Join a socialist or communist or Marxist organization today. We will be there to fight for you when you wake up and when you go to sleep. The city will not. The city does not care. Nonprofits, they don't care. They actually profit off of us being needy. So thank you so much for your time, and let's maybe move a little closer to SPS Sunset Property Solutions now.